All right. Hello, hello. How are you guys tonight? Hello, Jill. I don't think anybody will be with me tonight, so it'll just be myself. But thank you guys for joining. So tonight, uh, tonight I want to talk about uh, an article that has been uh, released by uh, CNN News, or I'm sorry, NBC News. Uh, I hope that those of you who watched last night on Sunny's channel, that it may the link may have gotten posted, it may not, but if not, I have it up there pinned, so you could go to it. I believe that it is a very important thing. To me, I started this channel to be a voice for those who don't have a voice. Uh, so hopefully, uh, you know, I can continue into this. I know there's not a lot of uh, things going on tonight. Jill, thank you for joining me. A lot of people aren't going to be on here, which I know that's okay. But I just wanted to bring some awareness to this because I myself went through a program because I was a recovering addict. I'm a recovering addict now, and I went through a program myself. And it really caught my attention because these troubled teens going through what they went through, and you know, the article was talking about Trinity Teen Solutions, and it's a place out in Wyoming that parents send their kids to try to get help. Uh, and we have to be aware of our kids because they're our future of what we intend to do. And so what has happened is there's these women who have suffered, and some men also. They have suffered uh, going to what parents suspected as a rehab, and it was a Catholic place. Again, it's called Trinity Teen Solutions, and it's out in Wyoming. Uh, they have endured hard manual labor. Uh, there was reports and allegations that the kids tried to make as they got older, uh, and the state is not doing anything about it. So that's why I'm doing my lives on this. Hopefully, you guys can see and uh, kind of reach out and go into it a little bit more in depth on the article. But I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the things that they go through, like this right here. This is a picture of some of the girls laying irrigation systems at the ranch. They're doing manual labor. You know, there was even a time. There was even a time that they were making the girls use the bathroom in buckets, and now they're only letting them shower twice a week for 5 minutes. That's not how you treat children. That's not how you know uh, help them therapeutically. You're supposed to help them therapeutically. And I went through Teen Challenge myself, and yeah, we had chores that we did. Uh, but reading this article here, if you haven't, and if you're just tuning in and joining, the article is pinned to the top of it. It's on NBC News. I'm going to keep covering this because I want to reach out to some of these people that have uh, filed this lawsuit because uh, there was reports of suicidal and homicidal attempts, and all the government did was ask them to make changes into their program. Out in Wyoming, they're not doing a very good job controlling the teenage, I'm sorry, the youth uh, laws, and a lot of these people have went through this program and they have came out and started reaching out to each other on Facebook, and now a lawyer has seen a lot of it on Instagram and TikTok, and he's representing them. So hopefully I can get on in the future weeks and get some stories from these people. But what's going on out here in Wyoming is it's a Catholic place. um, it's a Catholic place, and they're denying any allegations against them. And these people have been diagnosed with PTSD, and they're coming back out worse than when they went in there. And I don't think an article is just good enough. I think we need to reach out and uh, be the voice for them. You know, uh, Parents are paying $6,000 a month for their children to go get abused. You know, uh, Even worse than what they're already experiencing. Thank you guys. I know there's not a lot of people tonight, but thank you guys for supporting. The boys part of this, uh, there's a lot of men that go to it too. And this right here, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look into the article, the guy, uh, he has right here a brand of a cross, and they're branding crosses into the children, and telling them lies, and parents are extracting their kids from there. You know, they're cutting off contact, and when the kids are writing letters home, they're censoring them. If they tell them the truth, they rip it up and send a new letter. And that's not fair. I think we need to be a voice for these people. You know, uh, some of the people that have come out uh, and tried to report, the governing authorities have given them a hard time. Uh, have given them a hard time because they're well respected in the community. But one of the uh, one of the girls who grew up in Illinois that was sent to there, she was 13 and 15 when she went. She said, it says Trinity is a bunch of fear-based activities and punishments that were supposed to teach you something, but all they taught you was how to be scared of everything. And can you imagine being a child and trying to go get help for addiction or behavior problems, and going to this ranch, quote unquote, and being forced to bale 50 pounds of hay, uh, not being able to shower, being tied to mules or donkeys. And that's what they're doing here. They're being tied to mules and donkeys. And I know there's two sides to every story, but if you read this article, uh, Trinity Teen Solutions is not making any comments, and they're trying to say that these girls are lying. But I have a hard time believing that these people have all told the same story or making it up. They only know each other from being there, uh, you know, uh, meeting years later. It's a very hard time for me to believe that. They're taking advantage of these kids. Yeah, absolutely, Jill. The child labor in the Catholic religion has been for a long while now. Yeah, and that's what's going on here in Wyoming. The state of Wyoming is not doing anything about it. They're they even forgot about some of the reports. If you read this article, that there was people started making big posts on TikTok, uh, and attention with a lot of views, I'll look into the TikTok thing. But then authorities started remembering about it, and they're like, oh, they're looking into it, and they're not giving no comment. There are child labor laws, and the recovery community in Wyoming, the state restrictions it has on them is very slim. They give people multiple chances. Well, they've been given these people chances since 2008, and here it is 2022, and they haven't had justice uh, at all served to them at all yet. You know, again, I posted the link to this article. I'm going to show you this picture. This is one of the girls here. Uh, she's got tape over her mouth because they were told to keep their mouth shut about things. There was even a girl who had a condition where she couldn't have weight. Her joints and her bones were very weak, and they made her carry bales of hay, and they told her she was spoiled. And so, with her being accused of being spoiled, they didn't do anything for her. And when her parents visited and seen that she needed surgery, they pulled her out of there right away. So, uh, it's very, very troubling to see that years later, these girls are going through this. And even some of the guys, uh, they took complete advantage of them, you know. They've been diagnosed with PTSD, and they're worse off than when they go in there, and it's not fair to them, you know. And they need a voice, and that's what I'm trying to be here. And I ask that you guys to reach out, uh you know, for this. And they're doing stuff for churches. uh they're being, I guess you could say, sold out. Kind of what they call it is trafficking. The article, uh having to go help on other ranches, you know. And if we're going to sit here and, as America, and be big on child trafficking laws, I think this needs to be looked into as well. You know, it's not fair. Uh, I know if it was one of my kids, I'd be going down there and I'd be uh, beating the hell out of somebody. You know, uh, I'm going to do several segments on this. Hopefully, next Saturday, I'm going to try to get somebody to come on and share their testimony. I'm going to reach out and try to be a voice, because this needs to be brought into the light. I know there's only two people watching tonight. That's okay. But thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Uh, you know, the only reason I'm bringing this up because they're saying uh, nothing is happening and there's not being a voice. Anna Gonzon, who now lives in South Carolina, said she was surprised when two men from a transport agency came to her family's home in Austin, Texas, to bring her to. When she got there, she was stripped naked and her legs slightly bent, and taken pictures of all of her scars so they can see how she was. And when asked about it, Trinity Team says that none of their girls are stripped naked. They leave their panties on. Well, I know if I'm a child, I'm not going to lie about something like that. It's just not fair. It's not fair for uh, families to keep sending links over there. They even sued a lot of these trauma induced people for defamation of character, and they had to settle out of court because uh, they didn't want to ruin the nation. You know, hey Ashley, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I know I appreciate you coming in tonight. Thank you for coming on. I hope that you see the link, the article I'm talking about. If you guys can read this a bit more, I want to There we go. I don't know what happened here. My camera just went off, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, these places are crazy. Uh, you know, and that's why I'm trying to bring awareness to this because I went to Teen Challenge myself as an adult, and it gives places like Teen Challenge a bad name. Because make sure mother pigs don't roll over on the girl pigs, and if they're disobedient, they get tied to a. Am I still freezing? Charismatically, how are you doing? Um, am I froze now? Okay, good, good. I'm glad I'm good. So, Charismatically Clever, how you doing? Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Joining me tonight. I'm by myself. No Andrew, no Deb or Sonny, but I appreciate you guys coming tonight and showing support. Again, what I'm talking about an article. I was driving on my way to work, I think Wednesday, and this this news article came across from NBC News, and It's called "A Nightmare of Abuse," as people are alleging Trinity Teen Solutions. Uh, Absolutely, uh, Katzen. I'm a Christian myself, and hello, Alexa. Thank you. Hello. I'm a Christian myself, and you're right. I do not trust a lot of them. If it's not Teen Challenge, I don't trust it. Because a lot of these places are giving Christians a bad name, especially Catholic people, or they're taking advantage of it. They're taking advantage of people uh, and giving ritualistic ideas uh, that aren't true. It's just, if you haven't seen it, click on the article. I'll show you another picture here in a second. But yeah, it breaks my heart because these girls and these people, nobody believed them, and they don't have a voice. So that's why I'm trying to be a voice, because they're older now and they found out that there's no statute of limitations out there. And there was even a point where there was a girl who had frostbite on her toes. On her toes, and for 5 months she asked them to take her to the doctor, and they didn't take her to the doctor. They said shit, she was just being uh, a drama queen or something like that. If you read the article, you'll see it. And by the time she went to the doctor, they said there was nothing that they could do, and her toes healed on her own. But no child should have to endure that, whether you're 13, 17, 18. Again, what I'm talking about here is Trinity Teen Solutions out in Wyoming, and the state of Wyoming keeps giving them chance after chance after chance. If you read the article, it says that when they address these people, they give them a plan of action because they like to give multiple people chances to correct themselves. Because when you're not funded by the government and you're privatized, the government can't really step in and do anything. They can only give you different laws, which I think is bullshit. Excuse my language, but these people deserve more than just one article. Hey, Jill, how you doing? Charismatically Clever, hello again. Um, I just feel like that We need to be a voice. And if you guys can help me, I'm going to ask if you guys can help me read this article and reach out to some of these people. Let's see if we can get them on here, mine and Sonny's channel, and see if we can't get their story told, bring some awareness to what's going on. Uh, because I want to be that voice. I want to be the one who speaks out for them. I want to give them a thought. Jetta, what's up? Who's on live right now? I didn't even mean to schedule my live with somebody else's, but I haven't been on in 3 weeks, so I wanted to start off with this, and I'm calling it the Never-Ending Nightmare. So that I'm going to try to do a series on this. Whenever you see the Never-Ending Nightmare, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what's going on out in Wyoming. Oh, Sonny's doing a live right now? Oh, I did not even know Sonny was doing a live. Huh. Oh, the members only live. That's right. I forgot. She told me that. Yeah, she told me that. That's why she said she forgot about it, about my live. Oh, thanks, Sonny. Love you. Hopefully you're over there. But yeah, make sure you guys tell when you jump back. Tell Sonny I said hello and I love her. But anyways, so these people are thinking that these girls moving 50-pound bales of hay and just being ruthless to them. They think what they're doing is helping it, but these people are coming out. Even the guys down the road who are at another ranch that's ran by the same family, they're coming out worse than they went off in. They're being diagnosed with PTSD and traumatic. Like I'm going to show you this. This is what they're having to bale hay and do things like this. 50 pounds. I do that, and that's heavy. That's all right. It's okay. um, so they're having to move 50-pound bales of hay. They're branding. They're making the guys box each other forcefully. Uh, they're tying women to uh, mules when they're acting up. This is not right. You know, uh, and the state's not doing anything about it. You know, uh, I hate the fact that it's taken so long for even an article to be written. They're even back. They go hiking and they make them carry backpacks full of rocks. And uh, this girl here, as you can see, uh, her finger got busted carrying irrigation pipes, and they waited 2 hours after she kept passing out to take her to the hospital. And then as she got fixed up, they sent her right back to work. Well, who in their right mind uh, would do that? Why would you send, let alone make these women carry irrigation pipes? Again, the state of Wyoming isn't coming in and doing anything. They keep giving them chance after chance after chance. And I just hate the fact that there's no voice here. And I'm asking again for you guys to read this article. Yeah, absolutely. Tough love to dangerous extremes. And when NBC tries to go in and talk to them, they have no comment, or they won't even allow them to come in and take pictures on the ranch. Uh, and State Department's not even going in like they're supposed to once a year to talk to the teenagers. And when they do, the staff stays there with them, and that's not right. That's a violation of their rights. They're even cutting off contact with the children's parents for punishment, and you cannot do that. I when I was at Team Challenge, uh, I couldn't have contact for the first 30 days. Yeah, Jetta, this is crazy, and I'm trying to. That's why I'm calling it a never-ending nightmare because today, it's still, even though there's an ongoing investigation that's hardly being told, there's still things going on, and I'm going to be the voice for these people. I'm going to reach out to them, and I'm going to try to get them on here so they can spread the news to you guys, and we can get some support for their court case that they have, the lawsuit, and they're trying to file charges on them right now. And it took a lawyer from another state, from Tennessee, to see these Instagram posts and to see these TikToks that these people made, to take interest and look into it and take their case. And as I progress more onto this series uh, with you guys, I will find out more about everything. Uh, that, yeah. So that was Aspen. He just got home. He was going to come on, but it's too late now. So, uh, yeah, Catholic, like what they're doing is they're giving a bad reputation to that community, the Catholic community, the church community, because this is not how it goes. But as I've researched more and more into this, like somebody commented earlier, I think it was you, Jill, that child labor has been in the Catholic community for years. And I'm not bad mouthing them. I'm not bad mouthing that community at all. So don't get it twisted. But, you know, something needs to be done, especially about this. I know other places in Mississippi, not Mississippi, but in other states, like one in Mississippi, have been shut down because after some of these girls have posted these Instagrams and TikToks, states started looking into this and found out that some of their teen centers are doing some of the same things. But Wyoming, I don't understand why the state of Wyoming won't step in and do what needs to be done. There's multiple times they're allowing them to do a corrective action plan, is what the article says. And if you have to come in and tell them to do a corrective action plan multiple times, I think it's time to shut the place down or do some thorough investigation. But the question is that I have, uh, the question I have is why, uh, Dominique, I heard you cuss. Get off the damn game now. I heard you say the F word. No, you didn't. Don't lie to me. Get off the game now. I heard you. Get off the game. No, you didn't. You lying to me. Get off the game. Sorry, my son cussing. I don't play that. Yeah. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Sorry. Uh, and anyways, these people in Wyoming, why if you have to multiple times come in and do a corrective action plan, it needs to be shut down. Period. Yeah, one of my sons is in trouble. Uh, it just boggles my mind because as I kept reading this article, wow, they called the CPS on you. That's crazy. Why? For pulling him out of school? I'm sorry, Jill. Uh, that is really ridiculous. Uh, that is ridiculous. I did send him a link too, by the way, actually. But yeah. So as I kept reading this article today, I glanced over it a couple days ago. But as I kept reading this article today, I got down to where one of the girls uh, had contacted authorities, and authorities had said they would look into it. Well, she still hadn't heard anything a year later. until I'm sorry, the TikToks got posted, and the attorney that stepped in from Tennessee, called to talk to them about the reports and the allegations, and he said, "Oh yeah, I remember those. I'll have to look into them again." How do you forget something like that? That is what boggles my mind. How do you forget something that these people are telling you they have experienced and went through as children? You know, uh, if I was a police officer, I wouldn't forget something like that because I have children that I care about. You know, uh, and for them to, I love that they did this article on this, and that they brought it a little bit aware. But I want to hear more about it. That's why I'm bringing it to attention on my channel, and hopefully Sonny and Deb will help me bring attention as they read the article. And I hope you guys read the article, and we can try to reach out to these people because I want to start reaching out to these people and trying to bring them on here and let them tell their side of the story, because it's not fair that Trinity Teen Solutions is continuing to rob parents of money and abusing their children. It's pretty much legal abuse. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight for sure, for real. Uh, I hope this is just as interesting. This girl right here, I want to show you this. This girl right here fell off the horse, and after she got bandaged up, they made her go right back to work. Look at this. You could see the bandage on her arm. You could see it right there, and you could see the cuts and bruises. And she had broken ribs. And when she tried to tell her parents about it, they said that she was fine, and her parents had to pull her out of there. Now, you telling me that the the staff at this place, the owners of this place, all these kids are having trauma related injuries and being diagnosed with PTSD, have pictures to prove everything. And you're telling me that this stuff didn't happen on your property? This stuff didn't happen in your care? That you're telling the kids to send letters home saying, "Oh, we're riding horses and we're taking care of the animals and having such a good time," because you don't want them to expose the truth? No, that just doesn't fly with me. That doesn't fly with me. Not at all. And I will be that voice. I will be that voice. I don't know that day. I'm gonna have to look into that, Jenna. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, you know, this is uh this is heart wrenching to me because I went to Teen Challenge. This girl right here, I went to Teen Challenge and it helped me. It saved my life, you know, and it gives programs like that a bad name. Like this girl right here is diagnosed with PTSD. You know, her name is. I'm sorry. I want to reach out to her. I'm going to try to reach out to her, but her name is Kelsey Van Mever. She was one of the ones that was tied to a goat because she was quote unquote being stubborn, and they said that she was spoiled, and they cut communications off of to her parents. They cut communications off to her parents because they said she was spoiled and stubborn and a brat. And then after that, her parents pulled her out of there. You know, so if parents are pulling their children out of here, if you're charging $6,000 a month to abuse their kids, even a judge uh, during a lawsuit asked the owner here. He said, "Why would I pay you $5,000-6,000 to come work at your ranch when I can go to a ranch and get paid to work there?" And the owner told the judge, said, "Oh, you're not qualified to work." That's crazy. Either one, it's because he's too old. Two, because of the child labor that they're forcing upon these kids and calling them chores, quote unquote. Now, don't get me wrong, at Teen Challenge, we had to do chores, but we got up every morning. We cleaned the bathrooms. Our chores entailed with cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning our rooms, making our bed, uh, doing things like that. Then we went off to work for half a day, and we only did things like we did a little bit of construction. We did a little bit of things, but that was how we paid for our way in there. If our parents couldn't afford uh, paying for our tuition to go there, then we worked it off, and it wasn't hard labor. We did some groundwork, manual labor. Yeah, we had discipline. If we got in trouble, I had to dig a tree stump up one time. I don't find that too hard. I had to pull weeds. Stuff like that is proper, but these guys having to uh, move bales of hay, being forced to work 12, 16 hours a day is ridiculous. That the kids is brain is developing, and they're going to be traumatized as they get older. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, and that's what this article is talking about. They're talking about because it's private, they don't take any state funding. The state has limited action to come in. And don't get me wrong, they still have some kind of control, but how many times is it going to take over the years? What if somebody dies there? I haven't looked into that yet. I'm going to look into their Facebook page, and I'm going to try to call to them and talk to them and get into this article. And I'm calling this series The Never Ending Nightmare. So I hope that you guys will stay with me as I continue to broadcast on this. And I hope that you guys read the article that I'm making aware, because this is something that's very passionate to me because I was an addict myself, but I didn't go through it till as an adult. And if I would have got help in my teenage years, I probably wouldn't have went through the things that I went through. And I'm worried about these kids because, one, they can either go forward or they can go backwards. And two, the state of Wyoming is still allowing it to happen. Why? That's my question. Why? And why won't Trinity Teen Solutions allow people to come in and take pictures? Why won't they? Uh, why won't they uh, let the kids write real letters? I mean, there's two sides to every story. Don't get me wrong, but when you have multiple, over 40 allegations and people in the lawsuit going against you, that's some pretty heavy stuff. These kids are getting abused, and it's affecting them in their later lives. What about their children? How are they going to act? And in the long run, it could help them. You know, it's just frustrating a little bit. So I'm looking here in this article. I showed you the guys that I want to show you something that the ranch said. So the guy that the other place is called Triangle Cross Ranch, and that's where the guys go to, and that's where the guy was branded. And over the past decade, the Department of Family Services confirmed at least 28 violations at the Triangle Cross Ranch. So it says in 2015, state officials found Triangle Cross Ranch, which is the boys' part, misrepresented its services online, censored mail, and cut calls off with parents if the boys complained about their treatment. Records show. The state also found that the ranch staff misled the agency about its staffing levels during an investigation. State regulations allow the Department of Family Services to revoke a facility's license if staff members make misleading or false statements to inspectors. However, the department told NBC News that its policy is to quote unquote resolve issues of noncompliance prior to recommending revocation of a facility's license. So inspectors instead told the ranch owners to create a corrective action plan, yet again, the same thing that they did over at Trinity Teen Solutions, planning to explain how they would avoid the violations in the future. Yeah, absolutely. Interference, Janie. Yeah, these kids are being murdered as well. Wow, yeah, that's crazy, Jill. But I've heard about that also. You got smacked across the knuckles or made to kneel on a pencil. That's a little bit different. But being mentally abused, there was even one time they're taking mattresses away from these children. They're taking mattresses away from these children. They're they're not feeding them properly as a punishment. Who in their right mind can treat a child like that? You know, these kids. You're right. These kids are getting murdered. And I don't want to blame the Catholic community, but I'm just going based off of my information on the article and my research that these people are Catholic, you know? Wow. You know, I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. Uh, I want to know why the state of Wyoming and the hills, these kids were saying that there's 30 miles to the nearest gas station, so they can't run. They can't escape. They can't do anything. They're beating them so far down mentally that they're just having nightmares. They're PTSD. You know, just reading this article, if you haven't seen it, I did pin it to the top of this. Check it out. Read into it after this live. Help me spread the word on this. I'm going to keep doing a series on this. This will be my main subject for the next couple of weeks, as well as some other things. But it's a nightmare. It's a never-ending nightmare. We have to stand up for these kids. You know, if other places are getting looked into because of what these girls are doing and what these young men are doing by trying to reach out, that's one good positive that is happening out of it. But I want to be the voice. I want them to know that there are people out there that care about this, that they're not shutting down. Because as you read this article, uh, some of the comments and concerns that they have is that they feel like nobody cared, you know, for multiple years, ever since 2008, 2009. You know, this has been going on over 12 years, and it's just now being brought to the light on a much bigger scale. And I think that we should expand it. Uh, you know, I seen that article one time, and I only seen it on this news. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Yeah, absolutely. I would have been put in jail too. You know, um, it's I appreciate you guys coming on with me tonight, man. I hope that you look into this article very much. I've just touched on brief stuff here. I'm calling it again a nightmare that never ends, the never-ending nightmare. Listen to this. In late 2020, the state discovered that Gerald Schneider, I think Schneider, which is the woman's father who owns Trinity Teen Solutions, he owns the boys part, made boys come into his house to help him off the toilet and to care for his wife who has Alzheimer's. The state also found that staff members had told the boys not to speak with state officials during inspections and that the boys had been punished for doing so in the past. Matt Schneider presented with a threatening posture when the state agent asked him about it, clenching his fist, according to investigation files. Gerald, Matt, and Mark Schneider declined to comment to NBC News. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Can you imagine as a kid having to go help an old man? You know, that's not their responsibility. You That's what he's got. He's supposed to use all that money that he's getting and hire health care for his wife and himself. As a punishment, they had to do this. And that's traumatizing. In the mind of a child, that is traumatizing. If I asked one of my kids to do that, I couldn't live with myself if I sent things someplace like this. Uh, Again, I don't want to read the whole article to you guys. Uh, it's just a nightmare. Listening to the stories and the allegations, and again, they wrote a corrective action plan 2 years later in 2021. Uh, it was just ridiculous. Over the past decade, former residents of Trinity Teen Solutions found one another online and shared their experiences. In spring 2014, one sent testimonials from several women alleging abuse at the ranch to Edwin Heimer, who is now a Department of Family Services field administrator, pleading for the state to investigate the program. So they sent these allegations in 2014 to investigate the program. The testimonials they described repairing fences or properties that belonged to friends of the Woodwards. Uh, uh, they also reported that cows and colts had kicked them, pigs bit and trampled them. Uh, the women described staff withholding food and sent photos of a girl wearing a shirt with "Do Not Trust Me" written on it with a marker, and another wearing a backpack they said was full of rocks. So they're sharing all this stuff with each other and getting a laugh out of this. It's ridiculous. Um, yeah, it was confirmed that 15 years ago that only 2 5-minute showers a week were allowed. And in 2011, the ranch told the state that the girls were no longer forced to use the bucket as a bathroom. That's ridiculous. Look at these teenagers doing this. I can understand. I want to show you this. I can understand labor, right? Look at these girls. Look how big these logs are. Doing this 10, 12, 14 hours a day. Can you imagine the strain that has on him? I just, yes, it's about, I feel like it is about the money, Jetta. Uh, they're charging $6,000 a month for these girls. And get this, they won't allow girls to come into the program for no less than 6 months. And they're telling their parents that they need to stay for extended amount of time or they will revert back to their old behavior and their ruthless ways, manipulating the parents into their money and grandparents so that way they can stay there for a long time. In the article, one of the girls describes walking in there, girls sitting in the chair, stating how long they have been there, some 2.5 years. Can you imagine enduring it for 2.5 years? Man, that's crazy. They're charging $5,000 and $6,000 a month just for them to be allowed to abuse their children, and it's not fair. It's not fair by no means. So it's all about the money. Like I said, when I went to Teen Challenge, if we couldn't afford uh, the money, then that was okay. There were scholarships. We still got to go get help. You know, these people won't allow you to come in unless you pay your first month. You agree to stay there for 6 months, and they're manipulating the family, saying that, oh, if your team tries to get you to let them come home or whatever, they're just manipulating you and this and that. And they need to stay here. Uh, it's just all lies. But again, there's two sides to every story. I'd like to try to get something from Trinity Teen Solutions also. I'm going to investigate this on myself. But Trinity Teen Solutions sued three women in 2016 for defamation over online reviews, accusing them of damaging the ranch's business. The ranch owner said in court that they had to spend time convincing prospective customers' parents and not to believe in the online testimonials. The three women responded in court filings that their statements were true, but they said they lacked the money to make the case, so they settled under an agreement that has not been made public. They didn't have the money. Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe politicians are involved. Maybe politicians are involved because the state's not doing anything. And when you read this article, Jetta, I'd like for you to read this article. When you read this article, uh, you can see that some of the state officials are forgetting about this. There's been several reports, but nothing's being done. And I think that we should, um, just because they're not taking any money from the state, I think that they should, I think that they should have stricter laws because they're in charge of these children. You know, the future of our country, the future of our lives. Uh, it's ridiculous. I want to know why Wyoming isn't stepping up and going in and just allowing them to beat the system, coming up with these corrective action plans. If they have to keep coming up with corrective action plans, they're obviously not following the first one that they wrote. It's common sense here. I hate that shit. Excuse me. You know, that's crazy. So, the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation was called in to help with the case in late 2020. The state agency turned over the investigation to Skorick, the county prosecutor. Skorick said in an email this month that there is much follow up investigation to be done before he can decide on filing charges, and that he believes attorneys representing the women in their civil suit against Trinity Teen Solutions have information relevant to the criminal probe. Neither Skirvik nor the sheriff's department has contacted the women's lawyers, the lawyers say. And that was the update for this month before this article was released. So if you're going to file these charges, there's probably enough proof. Well, more than likely, there's enough proof. As I dive deeper into this, I want to find out more what's going on because these children are getting killed. They're some of them are committing suicide. There was also several suicide attempts, several homicide attempts. You know, but nothing has been done. Nothing has been shut down. So I want to do some investigating into this a lot more. And I ask you, my followers, and my family out there to read this article, reach out to some of these people, see if we can bring them on, contact them, see if we can't share their story, see if we can bring this a little bit more into the light, see if we can't get other YouTube channels to look into this and start spreading this around also. Because these people are living, but others are dying. You know what I mean? And it's a big deal. So I appreciate you guys for tonight. I'm gonna get out of here, but I thank you for the support. Again, the broadcast is, I'm sorry, the article is posted at the top. I hope you guys enjoyed my live tonight, even though I was by myself. If you want to donate, if you want to help out, support my channel, you can go to paypal.me/Bubba669 and you can donate to that. Hopefully, I'll be on Sonny's channel sometime this week. Uh, you know, this is going to be a series that I look forward to investigating, and I hope that you guys stay with me during this series as I look into this, uh, further. Yeah, thank you, Jenna. I thought that this would be intriguing. This is definitely something new that I'm going to be following. I'm going to be the voice of this. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate it. Jenna, appreciate it. Isaiah, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for the support. Uh, Thank you. If you can, like, thumbs up, share. I do appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Again, if you want to donate, I don't support this channel. The link's there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hopefully I'll be doing some short videos this week. Start getting back on here now that my sister's wedding's over. I will post some pictures on that if you guys are concerned. If you want to connect with me, you can hit me up on Facebook, Blaine Phoenix Nelson. That's Blaine PHNX Nelson. I'm on Facebook. You can email me. Uh, we can talk. We can communicate. Especially if you have somebody in addiction, I would like to help reach out. Or if you just want to talk about anything, uh, reach out to me, or you can email me at redgrizzlymusic@gmail.com. So uh, comment, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed night. Please look into this article, read it. The link is up there. Let's keep this going and continue the series, The Never Ending Nightmare. Have a good night, guys.